Hello everyone, welcome to my presentation. Thank you for your time, appreciate it a lot. My topic is how extensive reading benefits English vocabulary acquisition, a case study. My name is Liu Peng and my metric number is P115525. Number 1, problem statement. A number of studies have shown that second language learners acquire vocabulary through reading, but only relatively small amounts. However, most of the studies used only short texts, measured only the acquisition of meaning, and didn't credit partial learning of words. A number of studies during the last 2 decades have confirmed the widespread belief that second language learners can acquire vocabulary through reading. However, the same findings suggest that incidental vocabulary acquisition is a time-consuming and unpredictable process, and hence raise questions about the suitability of the approach for second language learners. At the same time, Mira comments that most of these studies don't contribute to the understanding of acquisition process, since they don't investigate factors that lead to word retention. As a result, the process of incidental vocabulary acquisition is not yet understood to any great degree, and therefore it cannot be fully exploited by teachers and learners. Number 2, research objectives. My first objective is to examine the effects of the text frequency on acquisition of word meaning. Number 2, to examine the effects of text frequency on the acquisition of word spelling. My third objective is to examine the effects of text frequency on the acquisition of grammatical behavior. Number 3, research questions. My first question would be, does extensive reading lead to increased word knowledge in terms of spelling, meaning, and grammatical behavior of words? Second question would be, are these 3 aspects equally affected by extensive reading? The third question would be, are words that occur more frequently in the texts more affected in the 3 aspects of word knowledge? Number 4, core research designs. My first design would be the readers. Simplified materials were preferred instead of authentic ones, since they compare favorably to the much more lexically dense literary originals, and therefore offer L2 learners appropriate conditions for word learning, as already suggested. Graded readers from PETS, Public English Test System, collection Level 2 will be used in this study. Level 2 is the pre-intermediate. We can also say it is a little bit higher than elementary level. The one of 5 levels altogether, which are aimed at adults and or teenagers. The 5 levels are organized taking into consideration grammatical difficulties and vocabulary. The vocabulary lists on which readers in level 2 are based to range from 1,600 to 2,000 words. Number 2 design would be the participant, who refers to a 39-year-old learner of Chinese who we refer to as S. His mother tongue is Chinese, and he also speaks fluent German as a second language. In English, he holds the PETS 2, which corresponds to an pre-intermediate level. It should be noted that the specific diploma consisted of 5 independent units, and that S had taken long breaks, sometimes years, between the units. He had passed his last exam 2 years prior to this study, and he hadn't practiced the language since. Moreover, he speaks German because he works in FAW in Changchun, the biggest German-China joint automobile corporation in mainland automobile industry, dealing with his co-workers, especially German colleagues, in the language of German. As a result, his level of proficiency, English, is relatively lower than the typical pre-intermediate English learner. Therefore, taking also into consideration the proportion of unknown to known words, the second level of readers was selected as the most appropriate for him. At the time of the study, he will be still working at his position in Changchun, the Das Auto Corp headquarters in China, where is a German, non-English speaking environment. As already discussed, one of the limitations of some earlier extensive reading studies was the simultaneous exposure of the participants to the other forms of language input. In this case, apart from the readers, S has no other exposure to English. Therefore, we can safely exclude any other potential sources of word learning and ascribe any vocabulary gains to the extensive reading treatment alone. And number 3, the research design would be the words. The target words will consist of more than 200 nouns and 100 verbs. Words that appear in the text in many different forms because of derivatives will be excluded. My original intention was to include all parts of speech. I mean all of the target words of the 2000 target words in the study. However, the grammatical component of the test battery impeded that possibility. It proves extremely difficult with only 5 graded readers to find adjectives and adverbs that share similar grammatical features, and at the same time for those features to be manifest in the texts. As a result, I have to limit my selection of target words to nouns, which are all used with an article, and verbs for the use of which knowledge of prepositions is essential. Furthermore, it seems like a logical start in this type of research, since nouns and verbs are the most common parts of speech found in natural text, in the hope that additional research will extend to other word classes. In order to study the effects of word frequency, the target words will be organized into several subgroups. I haven't made up my mind yet how many specific subgroups, according to the number of encounters that the participant will have with each word. There will be like one, they occur once, 2 to 3 times, 4 to 5 times, 6 to 10, 10 plus, and 20 plus. Number 5, informants of participants refer to a 39-year-old learner of Chinese engineer working at FEW whose English level is past 3. Number 6 would be data collection. Marking. The tests will be scored in the following manner. Marks for each type of word knowledge range from 0 to 2. More specifically, for spelling, a completely wrong answer will be given 0 point. An answer similar to the correct spelling will earn 1 point, and a fully correct answer will receive 2. Similarly, for meaning, if S gave a completely wrong answer, he was given 0. If he had some idea of the meaning of the word, or if he knew some of the multiple meanings of word, he earned 1 point. Whereas if he knew the exact meaning of the word or all its different meanings, he's gonna get 2. For grammar, prepositions will follow a similar pattern. For example, the word prevent appeared in the texts, followed either by the preposition from or without a preposition. I'm going to use the interview procedure to control guessing by advising S not to guess. Moreover, we'll query any answers S is not sure of to verify whether they're guesses or not. Confirmed guesses will not be accepted as correct answers. This is data collection. Data analysis, number 7. I'm going to use Wilcoxon signed ranks tests because the data I mean, 3 aspect data, including word meaning, word spelling, and word grammatical behavior, will not be normally distributed. The Wilcoxon sign rank test is a non-parametric statistical hypothesis test used either to test the location of population based on a sample data or to compare the locations of 2 populations using 2 matched samples. The one sample version serves a purpose similar to that of the one sample student t-test. For 2 matched samples, it is a paired difference test, like the paired student t-test. The Wilcoxon test can be a good alternative to the t-test when population means are not of interest. For example, when one wishes to test whether a population's median is non-zero, or whether there is a better than 50% chance that a sample from one population is greater than a sample from another population. Number 8, trustworthiness. Various strategies will be used, including triangulation, long-term observation, rich, thick description. Because the case study I'm gonna do my research is just one participant, including just one participant. It is feasible to employ the time-consuming but highly informative measurement method of one-to-one interview, as used in Schmidt. Although a single rater meant that no inter-rater reliability check is possible, the reader will be able to interactively question and probe the participant at length until a very good impression achieved concerning the knowledge level of the various word knowledge elements. Plus, using a variety of measurement methodologies, including the 3 different aspects, word meaning, word spelling, and grammatical behavior, allows me to illustrate a degree of vocabulary acquisition previously undemonstrated. Finally, in discussing the results, I will compare them to the reported acquisition in previous studies. Here is the list of references, and about appendices. Interview protocol will be the study will employ multiple sensitive tests of word knowledge to determine how will a period of extensive reading benefit a Chinese learner's English vocabulary acquisition. In particular, the study addresses the following questions. Does intensive reading lead to increased word knowledge in terms of spelling, meaning, and grammatical behavior words? Number 2, are these 3 aspects equally affected by extensive reading? Number 3, are words that occur more frequently in the text more affected in these 3 aspects of word knowledge? And the hypothesis is that reading will affect all 3 aspects of word knowledge, but spelling is expected to be affected the most. Based on the findings of Schmidt and Warning and Takaki, it is also assumed that words occurring more often in the text will have more chances of being acquired or of being enhanced than less frequent ones. And here are some pictures of target words I'm gonna include in my study. Some nouns and some verbs. Okay, well, this is my presentation from Liu Peng. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it a lot. Bye bye.